I'm joined by Rex Minerals CEO and Managing Director, Richard Laufman. Richard, good to see you today.
Thanks very much for having me, Sonia.
Well, the copper price is at its highest level in 9 years. What's driving this demand, and do you think that's likely to be sustainable?
Well, listen, I'll just start with the proverb, okay? And everyone in our business knows it when it comes to commodities. There's only one rule, right? And it doesn't matter until it matters. And then it matters a lot. So this has been coming for a long time. People have been talking about it for a long, long time. As the world moves towards electrification, this is just the start. The last time the copper price was back here, the Model S hadn't even been released. No one had heard of Tesla, right? So the price has only got to move up from here. You know, $4 copper, that's just a scenario that takes in a handful of electric vehicles. It doesn't really account for the global electrification of everything. But we have such a significant requirement to copper. If you can picture this, I mean, copper was found thousands of years ago. And since that time, we've produced and used a certain amount. In the next 20 years, we'll use the same amount again as we've used in the history of copper production.
So what does this increase in the copper price mean for Rex Minerals and your Hillside project?
So the last time copper went over $4, we had less than half the resource. We didn't have a mine plan. We didn't have a mining license or permit. We didn't have an environmental approval. You know, we were a long way from where we are today. Last time it went over $4, Rex was worth about $470 million. If you just look at a diluted basis, today's share price should be at least $1.25 a share. But remember, we didn't have the investment we've put in. We've spent over $150 million to get us to where we are today. Through all those bare years in copper, we've been watching the band stretch, and that band's been stretched and stretched and stretched, and now it's catching up. So what does it mean for a Rex shareholder? Every 25 cents on the copper price is equal to about 42 cents a share in the Rex price, just on the net present value for stage one of Hillside. So it's going to add about $160 million worth of value, every 25% increment. I don't think there's anywhere on the planet that an investor can seek leverage to copper that isn't already built into the price, except in a project like Hillside in South Australia, which is effectively unknown, and it's worth peanuts, but in real value, it's worth over $1 billion today, NPV.
Now that project is on Yorke Peninsula in South Australia, as you touched on there. How far away are you from being in production?
So we'd be about 3 years if we start today from pouring copper. So perfect timing. You know, we all expect that the copper price is probably working on $7 from here, not $4. Right? And this is where things are headed. This is a super cycle, but it's not like the last super cycle did not have electrification as one of its themes, and it went over $4. Now it's broken through that $4 barrier, and it's headed to where? It takes 20 years nowadays to get a project from discovery to production if you get approvals, if you get the go-ahead to produce it, and if it's worthwhile developing, right? If. We've spent that $150 million and ours is in the go bay and ready. And it's taken us 13 years to today, plus 3 to be pouring copper. We'll be at 16 years. That tells you how long it takes to find and develop something in today's world.
And it won't be a swamp marketplace by the time you get there?
Well, the last time copper broke $4, annual, they call it CAGR, the annual expected increase in copper requirements globally was about 3.5%. This time it's in excess of 6%. Right? One company alone, the largest consumer of copper in the world, is the State Grid in China. They're increasing their requirements next year by about 1 million tonne of copper. I mean, these are massive increments and there's no supply response.
Well, thank you very much, Richard. Interesting times ahead. Great talking with you, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Sonia. Bye.